Good morning, folks. I'm back out here at my dad's shop today, and I got another engine in the shop that needs to have the fuel tank repaired. This is a McCormick Deering M 3-horse. I don't remember right off the top of my head what year this one is, but I'll look it up again and I'll put it in the title of the video. But we're going to get the fuel tank out of here. I won't record the whole process of repairing the fuel tank. I've got other videos that show that if you want to see it, but we've got several fittings that have to come off to get this tank out. This is the line that goes to the fuel pump. We have to get that fitting off and then get that pipe out. There's your fill line, and this line that goes up to the carburetor is your return line. We got to get all that stuff off so we can unthread that out of the tank. And then over on this side there's a drain and there's a vent, and we have to get that vent threaded out of there. That one and the one on the top on the other side go into like a T-shaped fitting that goes down into the tank. So we got to get all those out of there so that we can drop the tank out. And I think there will be enough room under here to get the tank out without either having to unbolt the engine or unbolt this brace to get it out of the way. So I'm going to get started trying to get this torn apart so I can get the fuel tank repaired. That way when we go down to Old Threshers this year, for the last couple years I've just put 2 quarts of gas in it and started it, and then it would run until it leaked and ran all that fuel out of it. Okay, I got all the fittings out finally. That was a bit of a struggle on a couple of them, and I broke one of the small fittings right here. Nope, this one. It's just my little fuel tank vent. Thread snapped right off, so I'm gonna have to find a different piece for that. But I got all the fittings out. Now I have to get up, clear up underneath here. I don't know if you can see it, but there's a bolt back in there that holds the back of the tank in. I'm not sure. I don't think there's one at the front. I think the front just was held in place by that pipe going through there. So now I'm going to get a piece of cardboard to lie down on the floor and see if I can get it underneath there and get that bolt out. Okay, let's see if I can get up in here and get this bolt out. There is one at the front too. For some reason I thought it just hung on that pipe, but there's one at each end. Oh Jesus. Get back up there, light. Well, that wasn't very tight. Trying to get my arm in there to get leverage, and well, it was barely even snug. I wonder if that... I certainly hope it just goes into a casting and it doesn't have a nut on the top side of it or something that you got to try to get a hold of. Ooh, hopefully that doesn't fit. There we go. I was hoping I didn't run out of room before I ran out of threads on that. Now, we'll see if I can get the one at the front broke loose. That wasn't too tight either. All right, let's see if that'll. Nope, it's not gonna have room to come out of there without doing something more than what I've already done. It goes forward, but not far enough to clear this 4x4 back here, not by about a 1/2 inch. And if I could drop the front down, I could get the front out first, but that means I'm gonna have to get one more piece of pipe out of here. So we'll see if this last piece of pipe that goes in the front of the tank will unthread out of it. This piece right here, if I get that out of there, then the front can drop down and the gas tank will come right out. Hopefully it's not as tight as some of the other pieces were. Probably would have been better to do when the tank was still bolted in where it couldn't move around in there. Hopefully this comes out easily. Gosh dang it. Wrench is too tight to slide on there, but too loose to grip it. Alright, come on, break loose. Damn it. Oh my goodness, that is ridiculously tight. Well, I don't know if that's moving at all. I don't think it is. That is not going to come out of there. So I guess my next option is to at least loosen up the bolts and lift the back of the motor up. Maybe I can just lift the back end of it up enough to get that to drop out of there. Okay, I got the nuts off of these two bolts to hold that down. I'm going to see if I can tap those bolts up a little bit. Of course, they don't want to move at all. That one's going. Alright, I gotta get a pair of vice grips and pull those out, and I'm going to just loosen up the nuts on these two up here at the front, and hopefully we can just tip it up a little bit and be able to get that tank to come out of there. Otherwise we're either going to have to lift the whole damn engine up or move this, unbolt this 4x4 and move it, and it's got bolts that go through it to the brace down to my front steering parts and everything. So we're going to try just tipping it up a little bit. Hopefully that'll be enough to get it. Okay, we got it loosened up. I got 2 boards in here that I push down and it raises up pretty easily. So I'm going to get down here, try to weasel that tank out of there while Dad lifts up on this. Hopefully if that goes up a couple inches, it'll give me enough clearance to get this out of here. Can you go any higher? Well, that's not going to be enough. It's closer. That's about half of what we need.
I can't never go twice as much. We're going to have to get the engine hoist out and lift it.
Yep. Well, the engine hoist is right there. We'll get it set up. I wasn't planning on this much of a project this morning. Okay, we got the engine hoist folded up here. We stuck one of those boards we were prying with through the flywheels. I don't like to just hook a chain to both flywheels and lift, because then you're pulling in the top of the flywheels. Probably wouldn't hurt anything, but I don't like to do it that way. Also, if I was going to be lifting this motor up, I would use something heavier than that old piece of 2x2, but all we're going to do is lift it a few inches in the back to get that fuel tank out, and if it dropped back down, it would go right back on there. All right, hold it there for a second. Let me see. Now a little bit more. You can actually see the tab right there where it's... Okay. Hold it there for a minute. I got too many things in my hands. Let's set the camera down there. Try to not... I think it'll stay there. Try to not knock it off of there. There. Easy peasy.
Bingo!
Alright, let's go ahead and set that back down. I don't know why somebody painted part of the flywheel red on that, but it's been that way the whole time I've had the engine.
You want to let it down?
Yeah, I let it down enough that I could pull that out of there. There we go. Alright. Here's the fuel tank. That poor old pipe has seen its better day. We've got an awful lot of JB Weld on here already. I know I had this tank out of there when we first got the engine, but it looks like I've got a JB welded about halfway up the side of the engine. I was gonna try to seal this up again, but I don't remember exactly how much it cost, but I can get a brand new tank for this that is like fiberglass. I can't remember what they called it. I'll look it up and I'll show it here in the video, but I can get a new tank for this for like $120 or $140. And I don't plan on ever getting rid of this engine, and since this is already collapsed and we're gonna have to put a couple of new fittings in it, I feel like I might as well just order a new fuel tank for this engine. So this is probably going to be it for this video, and I'll do a part 2 video on this whenever my fuel tank comes in. I don't know how long it'll take to order a fuel tank from Flywheel Supply and get it shipped here, but I think that's the plan. Just go ahead and put a brand new tank in this one. So thanks for watching. Part 2 of this will be coming up. I'm guessing it'll probably take a couple weeks before I'll have a tank here, so coming up in a couple of weeks. Please consider hitting the subscribe button, hit the like button, leave a comment, and come back next week. We'll have a video on something for you to watch.